Hey, good evening there, Andrea. Doria here with another story for you. This is a real rock story. It's the time I started a riot. At least that's what everybody said. First off, a shout out to my best friend. I'm having adult dress up fun, okay? I'm wearing this hat. It's a tribute to Sonoma County. I've got grapes right here. Do you see those? Love them. Love this hat. Thanks, Amanda. Bestie. Awesome hat. I was going through my closet, said, let's put something fun on because stories are fun, and what else do we have to do, huh? You know, you only can eat so much, watch so much, whatever. So here I am talking to you again. This is about the time I started a riot at San Jose State Student Union Ballroom in 1984. It all goes back to 1984. It was spring. I think this all began maybe as early as February of that year. San Jose State Student Union Program Board, I've mentioned them before. At that time, I was the actual concert chair. I was booking the rock shows. I was there. I was in it. And we had a show that was going to be Billy Idol and Agent Orange from LA, Southern Cal, great surf punk band if you haven't heard of them. Anyhow, Agent Orange was to open for Billy Idol. We even had some jokes going on between the band and myself about them covering a Generation X song about never selling out and, you know, Billy Idol, whatever. So we had a verbal confirmation and agreement with Billy Idol's management that he would be playing at San Jose State. And somewhere along the lines, within just I don't know, maybe a few weeks of us supposedly we're getting posters put together and getting ready to. Anyway, Bill Graham, if you haven't heard of him, at the time was the big dog around here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and talked to Billy Idol's management and said, you don't want to work with a bunch of college kids. They're just going to screw it up. And guess what happened? We lost our show. So this is lesson number one for any of you out there who are interested in booking shows. Always get it in writing. Always get your stuff in writing. Even if it's a simple little club show, put together a little contract, get it signed. Verbal agreements generally don't work, and this was definitely that case. But we salvaged the show. We said, okay, hey, fine. I'll find somebody to open for Agent Orange. They get to be the headliner, which, you know, they didn't have a problem with that. And there was a band out of San Francisco at the time called the Black Athletes, who were really very unique and really had a cool sound. I'm trying to remember if there was anybody specific that they kind of sounded like. You know, that was a long time ago. Great band. Booked them to be the opener. Okay, so roll on to the night of the show. It's the night of the show. A lovely spring night in April. Here it is. There's the flyer that a friend did for me. Let's see if we can get this good. Yes, it's signed by Agent Orange. Of course, I booked the darn show. I'm going to have him sign the darn flyer. Anyhow, date, blah. It was a balmy spring evening in April of 1984, and we're all getting ready for Agent Orange and Black Athletes at the San Jose State Student Union Ballroom. We had a great crowd. 7 o'clock. Show was scheduled to start at 9, and Black Athletes were supposed to be at the ballroom at 7 o'clock to do their sound check so Agent Orange could do theirs, and bang, got our show. We start at 9 o'clock. And the drummer from the band was there at 7 o'clock, but the rest of the band was not there. And I apologize for my lighting. I don't have proper lighting tonight, and every time I move, I'm giving you a mood video. Okay, so Black Athletes band, except for the drummer, they don't show at sound check time. In fact, they don't show at 8 o'clock. They're not there at 9 o'clock. 9:30, not there. And we're getting an audience who are getting a little bit anxious and antsy, and they want the show to get going, and so do we. And we have time not on our side. Booking at the university at the time, here's the business angle. We had the ballroom until midnight, and everything had to conclude under contractual agreement at midnight. So a band going on any later than, say, 10 o'clock, when that's kind of a cutoff, it's not going to work out. And the rest of the band, the Black Athletes, showed up at approximately 10 o'clock, the time they were set to be on stage. So we had to make the announcement that Black Athletes were not going to be performing. We offered refunds. A few people took us up on the refunds of their $5 or $6 that they paid. But primarily everybody stayed and were psyched to be able to check out Agent Orange anyway. And, you know, they made the best of this weird situation. But there are a few people that were a little bit more angry about the situation. And there was one young guy who punched a painting in the student union. Okay, it was an ugly ass painting. Let me just tell you that. It was a really ugly, big oil painting. Ugly. Punched the thing. Oh, got a riot. That's the riot. There we go. We just had a riot at the show. The show went fine. Actually, Agent Orange rocked it out. They made it wonderful. Even though they were the only band who played, they made up for the problems that we had otherwise. We made money. Associated Students Program Board always was chastised by the student journalists and papers and such that our shows didn't make money. Well, this particular one actually did make money. But darn it, we had a riot because a kid punched a painting, and yeah, campus security came to take him away. I think they actually did call the San Jose police, but I don't think he was arrested. It did cause some changes within policy, though, at San Jose State, because at the time there had been an age policy that no one under 18 who was not a student could be at those shows. And we didn't know that. Nobody told us that. And so that made that policy go firmly in effect for any future shows that in that ballroom, in that setting, that people had to be actually ID'd then for these shows. But it wasn't a riot. It was a painting getting punched. It was a great show by Agent Orange. I'll put a link of a couple of their songs down below in the descriptions because they are just a great band. You know, they Living in Darkness, Bloodstains, just, and they were going to cover Generation X. Man, that would have been so cool if we really had gotten the Billy Idol thing going. God darn it, Bill Graham. If it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't have had a riot. But at the same time, we wouldn't have gotten so much publicity about a riot that really was never a riot. And of course, nobody really wanted to mention that we made money. Oh, well, that's how it goes. That's showbiz, man. Okay, so lesson here for you is if you intend to walk into the world of music and want to get into booking shows, always get a written agreement for any band that you book. And then there are other things that you must do if you're doing a show of this nature. We had a great audience because we did great promotions, worked co-presents with various college radio stations, actually had, at the time, record shops had little boards that you could put your promotional flyers for your shows up at, and there was Tower Records and a lot of also independent record shops. And people would go out and fly those and actually fly around the whole general populace anywhere that you could put flyers. It was cool, or occasionally maybe it was a telephone pole. It wasn't cool, but that's how we did the promotions. We didn't have the internet. We had basic great promotions, and it worked fine. Great networking. So there's your lesson part, and the rest of it is just, I thought it was funny. I still think it's funny as hell that a riot can be, a kid punching a painting becomes a riot within a couple of days' time. I still laugh. So I hope you enjoyed that little ditty, a little bit short. Gonna bring you those albums over this wonderful weekend, because what else am I doing? Baking, that's what else I'm doing, and looking for other hats to wear. I hope you can tell that these are hands, okay? These are gloves. It's pretty styling, don't you think? Thank you again, Amanda. So Andrea Doria's Tales from the whatever bowl, something. The time Agent Orange caused a riot, but it wasn't them that caused the riot. It was the black athletes, but not their drummer. He is completely absolved from blame. I'll be back. Stay safe. Again, keep the hands clean. Do you have a nightly howl? We just had ours about a half an hour ago, and it's just so satisfying. If you don't, maybe just try starting one, get on Nextdoor and get your neighbors involved. And it's really good. It's good stuff. I'm trying my Tarzan yell, and it's not good. It's really bad. Thank God nobody knows who it is trying to do that. But at least I'm trying. Maybe I'll get it. Depends on how long we're around doing what we're doing. So we'll see. Alrighty then. You have a good whatever you're doing. Weekend coming up. So if you are celebrating any of the religious holidays that are going on right now, enjoy that. Otherwise, enjoy however you've chosen to spend your time. There's so many different things to do. And hey, yeah, got a different video coming up on Sunday that we're going to be recording. My husband's going to get involved. So I've got my albums coming up tomorrow, and then something crazy, and then the first interviews coming next week. So thanks for checking in with me, and I hope you enjoyed the story of Agent Orange. Yeah, the riot that happened that really never happened.